Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. There are three of us here that want to share with you something and discuss a very important topic called follow-up. So to follow up or not, that's the question. And we're here because we want to share with you some tidbits about that, the importance of it. And we're going to do this in a couple different ways. It's a short video. We're going to cover a lot of information, but not a lot of detail. So our purpose here is to inspire you to think about the importance of follow-up, create a follow-up tracking system, and enjoy doing it. So one of the things we're going to do, we're going to cover 5 crucial areas that we feel it's important to do follow-up. And we're going to cover the why, the when, the what, the where, and the how in each of these. So I hope this is going to be helpful for you. My name's Barb Satterwhite, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I've been embracing NECAN for 24 years, so grateful a friend introduced me. And this is a fun topic for us to discuss. So I'd like for my other colleagues to introduce themselves.
Well, hello, I'm Suzanne Steele, and I am from New Hampshire, and I too have embraced NECAN for 24 years and love learning and being with other collaborative entrepreneurs.
And I am Jeannie Zedan in Phoenix, Arizona. And I have loved NECAN's mission and purpose, the people that we get to hang out with, like these two wonderful ladies, and the products for 16 years. And I feel better today than I did then. So I'm excited. Barb, yes, I have a question for you. Tell us, is following up important?
No, it's everything. It is so crucial because if you don't follow up, you might as well not be contacting people. So we're going to go into the 5 areas that we think are crucial for follow-up when it comes to NECAN. And the first one, and you might want to take notes of these because we think they're very important. The first thing is for follow-up is after your initial contact with someone. And then the second one is after a product loan or information that you've sent. The third would be after a product is purchased. And the fourth would be after and filters, products that have been bought that need a filter change so that you can follow up with that. And then we call the 5th one ongoing communication. So we're going to address each of these. And I'm going to start with the following up after the initial contact. And okay, what's the why with that? The why is because you want to edify them and thank them for their meeting them in the introduction because you're really building a relationship. And quite honestly, it's all about the relationship that's going to prove to be the most valuable thing for you because you're building trust. So you want to edify them, thanking them for whatever it was you met them and what their interest was, but also to reinforce, are they still interested? And perhaps you said to that new contact that you were going to send them something. So maybe you're just following up to say, I sent you what you requested. So it's the follow-up's what I say, showing that you care about them. And it's building that relationship, which is going to help you with your business. So what's the when? Well, we always say 24 to 48 hours. And I think it's crucial that this one's within 24 hours. And maybe it is that you've sent them something, or it might be that you're calling up to find out if they want something, what they would like to have if you didn't have that discussion. The other thing that's important with this is that you determine what method of communication they would like. So the what is, that's what you would be sending them, okay, if you're going to mail them something, or what you would say to them when you follow up, whether it's to edify them or to find out if they want what you thought. And so the where, well, that's the preferred method of communication. So if you determine that they want you to email or they text or phone call, that's where you would do that. And the how, well, that's your tracking system. So how did I know to call you up in 24 hours? I put it on my calendar or I put it on a card, whatever it is, that's your how.
So after a product loan, or if you've sent them information, the why is, for me, I always like to find out if I've loaned a product to them, are they actually using it? And maybe are they using it properly? Or if I've sent them information, have they watched the video or have they read the article yet? And, you just kind of find out and then find out if they haven't done it yet, then you say, okay, well, when? Or find that stuff out. What they've noticed, maybe they've had a product experience already. So if you know that, maybe a little testimony. Perhaps they know someone that this would benefit for too. And maybe set up a time when you're going to pick up the product. You know, perhaps you loaned it to them for a week or a few days or something like that. So just set up a time. So it's the why is kind of like you're going to find out what's going on with them at that time after you've loaned them or sent them. And then the when, I think, still is 24 to 48 hours, because let's say I loan somebody a sleep system and for a week, I still want to follow up with them and all those things that we just talked about. So it was a good idea. And then what do they need next? What's next for them? They want to learn more, you know, just some different things that you can find out about them. Would you like to become a part of our global wellness community? Maybe they're ready to jump in with us. It's kind of neat too. And the where, again, that would be determined by what their preferred method of being communicated with. So is it a phone call, is it a text? And of course, the how is, again, back to our tracking. How did I know when? And that's really, really crucial. You know, wouldn't you agree, ladies? It's just so important to know the timing of when you're going to be following up with them. And it shows you care.
Well, one of the things that that you mentioned was in following up after you've loaned a product is to find out if they've used it. How many times have you guys, I know for me, you've waited a week and found out they didn't even try it. So, you know what? I don't want my products out there for a week doing nothing. Or so it's very, very crucial. And not only that, sometimes they have questions about it, right? They're not using it because they don't know something. So that I think is so important. Thanks, Jeannie.
Yes, and I was taught that our products that we loan are our employees. And so we want our employees out there working, not just laying on the dresser or in a box. So it's important to make sure that they are being used.
Funny you say that. I've always said my products are my employees. I don't have to pay them. I don't have to discipline them. I don't have to, they don't call in sick, but then they work. Okay. So they're wonderful employees. So yes, I love that.
So someone was loaned a product, they love it, they decide that they want to purchase it. So why would I follow up then? Well, I want to make sure, first of all, once I get that tracking number, I would either email them or communicate with them that it's ordered and let them know when to expect it. And I do that to let them know that I did what I said I was going to do if I'm actually placing the order, or if I'm working with them, if they're placing the order, to make sure that they know it's on its way. So once they get the product, I like to follow up with them first to make sure they got it. And again, we're going to reiterate things if they have any questions once they've received their product. So I want to follow up as soon as they get it. And then I would say whether it's in their method of communication, I'm going to check back with you in a couple of days to just see how it's going. And I do that because I want to know if they've had any experiences. And we all know that people get experiences with our employees, and when they become their employees, it could change over time. So we want to stay connected. Again, it shows that we care. What do I say or send to them? Well, if it's a water system, for example, I would send them a video perhaps to show them how to set it up if they're not close by and I'm not able to actually work with them on that. And I might send them some information on a particular product to give them ideas of how to mix up the shake, all the recipes that we have. So different things that will keep them excited about their new product. And again, their method of communication. I may text them, I may email them, I may send them a thank you card for making that product purchase. And how am I reminded again to do this? It depends on my method of tracking. It could just be on my phone. It could be written on my legal pad. It could be in my calendar. So whatever way that is.
Okay, well, thanks, Suzanne. So our next crucial time would be following up with filters. So products that need filter replacement, like your air system, your water system. So obviously that's why is because you want to make sure they have good product and good product use, and that they're aware of the filter needing to be changed. But also why this is important is this is your also ongoing auto ship perhaps with your filters, and helping your auto ship folks as well, not just filter changes, but anybody that's on auto ship, because that's your ongoing residual point value. So from a business standpoint, you want to keep that up and make sure that's happening. So your relationship with them and sending them a note. So that's why you would do it. And what you would do is a note. It could be thanking them for their purchase again and seeing how they're doing, reminding them of the filter change. Or when it comes to auto ship, you might just every quarter or whatever you want to set up just to be in touch to find out how are you doing, how are you liking it. And like Suzanne said, you want to get stories, because if people are really liking it, then you have the other option then to ask for who do they know that could benefit, so that you're asking for referrals. So again, it's that building relationship, that's trust. So again, where would you do this? Well, it depends, their preferred method. Now, I think some people like to mail a note out to them. They might want to email it. They might want to text them or call them. So it's really depends on their interest as well as yours. And again, how is the tracking system? How are you going to keep up with that? Are you going to have a card file every 3 months or every 6 months? You're going to put it in your calendar. You're going to put it in your day timer. That is very, very crucial. So one of the things I like to say here, well, I think this is probably more with the ongoing. I'm going to let Jeannie address the ongoing communication.
Well, jump in anytime, because we all have wonderful ideas about that and things to do. The ongoing is about, and Barb is so good about this too, is relationshiping. And this is, how do you maintain a relationship? If you think about the close people in your life that you talk with them, on different things. So there might be an event coming up that you want them to be aware of, maybe some new products. Perhaps and if you track, you're gonna know which person is, they were interested in this. Let me know if you have a sale on whatever, or let me know, they'll in the communication. So, and it's kind of like you're checking in on them to see how they're doing. And situations change. Maybe they need, instead of the sport water bottle, maybe they need the waterfall now, so they might be jumping in, to extend their wellness home in different ways. So that's why. And again, it shows you care. That's always what relationships are about. And then the when, and that can just vary, but as frequently as maybe they would like to be contacted. So I have a couple of customers that they don't want anything more than once a month, or something like that. So if you're sending out a newsletter or a product update, or you could pick up the phone and say, hey, I know we have this coming up. So, and I have written down here as an example, I remember you said that you love those insoles and they helped your balance. Well, we have a product launch coming up that's going to be blah, 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 whatever it may be. So that would be something you could say to introduce them to whatever it may be. The where is of course, their preferred method of being contacted. Sometimes I do texting and phone work. So it just depends on what they're interested in. On social media, I have one gal that just prefers Messenger. So that's her. And then the how, it's our tracking. How do so keeping up, making notes on your people is really important. Whether it's a spreadsheet or whatever, we're going to probably do that. So Any other comments or thoughts from you ladies?
Well, I was just thinking, one of the things that I remember learning in one of the mentoring sessions was about pick your 5 best customers and keep in touch with them in some form or fashion regularly. And I don't have necessarily 5 that I do, but I've got a couple, and one is wonderful. And she just loves when I think to call her and we have lunch. And usually when we have lunch, there's a product sale because she's got an interest in something. So, it's like create those special customers. You can't do that probably with everybody, but think of the ones that you really do want to keep in touch with. So that's the only thing I would add. And this just segues into when you're talking about the tracking is what Suzanne's going to share with us, kind of a summary of tracking and methods of that. So Suzanne, let us hear what you have to say.
Well, there are a lot of different methods, and I think I want to start off by saying I encourage you to try several of these and see which one works best for you, because sometimes you can start off with one and it seems to work, and you might want to change it up. It may not work all the time for you. I know I've tried a number of different ones and they work in different ways for me. So you do have this device, your mini computer, otherwise known as a phone, and you can keep information there. When you have a customer, you can put something on their contact name to say C for customers so that you can order them all. You can put notes in to your phone. You can also do it on the computer in a spreadsheet. There's also these customer relationship management systems, otherwise known as CRMs. It's like a little database, and you can then be able to cull out whatever you need. You can have a column that has filters, so you'd know all your customers that had filters that you could reach out to. You can do what I learned right out of the bat was called a boss box, a little box with 3x5 index cards, and you would write information and then you'd move them month to month back and forth. There's the old-fashioned legal pad that you can be writing down the people that you need to contact, the new people in the process. And you could have a page for each month of the year that you know that you need to do certain things. You also have day timers. So, if you like to write things down, that could work for you. And then there's different times of the days that people like to track. It could be right in the morning. It could be in the evening as you recap your day. So whatever way it is, there's lots of different ways. And now we have things like MailChimp and other online methods to keep in touch, but to also track information as well.
Fantastic, Suzanne. Well, this kind of summarizes what we wanted to do. We wanted to share with you. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions, but the main thing we wanted to get across is to inspire you to realize the importance of this and to embrace it. Don't fight it. It's something that you have to do if you're going to be successful in a business. So embrace it, have fun with it. And we'd like to finish by just each of us sharing a couple of lessons learned or nuggets. So who wants to go first?
Hey.
Go ahead, Jeannie.
For me, accountability is really helpful. And so I have an accountability group and also another person that we do texting back and forth on that. And tracking the follow-up, do we need to repeat that?
Yeah.
So I've done a good job with that. So yeah.